It's been a very difficult week, to say the least. It used to be weeks like these that would make me question my own trading abilities and my own discipline, and make me question whether I should just quit altogether. All these stocks are just going straight up with no pullbacks, and it's been very difficult for both the long side and the short side. Let's just go over some of my trades yesterday. So the biggest fight that I got into yesterday, no, it wasn't my exes. It's a stock, OBLN. This stock, ran up, I guess, from 150 all the way to $10, almost $11 yesterday. I was mostly short bias on the stock, and that did not serve me well. I got stopped out many times, you can see from the chart here. I did have some small scalps on the long side over here, but the scalps on the long side, a lot of times it's a lot smaller sized. So overall, it's net red on OBLN. I fought way too hard for this, and it was just very difficult to trade. And now I followed my rules. So, I followed my setups, my trading discipline, and I stopped out where I needed to. I covered where I needed to. But it was just very difficult, very draining. And especially up here, it got really choppy. There was a lot of times where I got faked out and stop out my short position only to get back in on the weaker bounces. But overall, it was difficult to trade, and this is one of the stocks I wish I just left it alone, and would have done a lot better on the day if I just left it alone. So yesterday did not end up well for me on OBLN. So cleaner trade was on BB BlackBerry. For this one, I did trade both on the short side and long side. It's a bigger market cap. There's less games, and it follows support and resistance really well. I was short off the open of this breakdown, 1320s, added around 13s, covered into some flush, and the majority around here. Actually flipped long, thinking that we're gonna touch previous day close and bounce off back to 13s. I did get in here and here, but I was waiting for bigger size, around the 1240s, 1230s if we get there, and rode on the way up to the bounces around 1290s. And I didn't think that we're gonna actually go back to the high of the day. This is what I mean by a lot of these things, they just have these V-shaped recovery. So on the short side, it definitely became like a short scalp kind of thing. So I did go back short, stopped out here, and I re-shorted here around the 1330s, covered it all over here, and I re-added some, covered it all for the loss on the secondary short. Had a small fade here. But overall, BlackBerry, I did a lot better on this, both on the long side and short side than OBLN. If you guys remember that video I made talking about why trading large caps and mid caps are friendlier for newer traders, this is the exact reason. There's less games, less traps, and they follow support and resistance levels really well. For new traders who are buying these breakouts, that might be working really well this week, especially when we see all these cheap stocks just going straight up. It will make it look very easy to make money buying breakouts. But in the long run, it's probably not sustainable. So that was my day yesterday, and I'm just drained. I feel like after yesterday, I aged 20 years. So I'm probably like 100 years old now. Alright, so let's talk about the trade today. I'm gonna try to keep this short. I'm like really, really exhausted and tired. Day trading is stressful. Like, it's not an easy career. Oh my god. So yeah, yesterday was difficult. Today was better because I adapted a little bit better today. I still shorted today, but there were just scalps on the short side. And I learned to kind of adapt and flip long when needed. So FCAEL, I was short early on around the 1640s, and then I just turned out to be a small scalp, right? Because they kept on holding up around the low 16s. That's why I covered it all. Turned out to be a small scalp. It wasn't like a big trade like BlackBerry yesterday. They actually gapped down on earnings miss. But once the $16 starts holding, we're making higher lows above the VWAP and trending up higher. That's why I started going long, actually. Even though big picture, my original plan was on the short side, on the earnings miss. But we're just in a market where every single dip gets bought back up. You can see the weakness on the daily around the 16s. We got bought up today. I went in long, scalding around the 1630s and added some more, sold some into this, and remaining all of it around 17s. I thought that could potentially be the top. I tried to go in against smaller size up here, saying that at the time, PLUG plug was also making new highs and holding green. And since they kind of trade in tandem with one another, I was thinking that FuelCell could do the same thing as plug. But plug actually lost on the short side. So I had a final small position long, thinking that we're gonna hold at least red to greens. So if you're playing the red to green move, my risk is kind of just below the red to green line. For final dip long to the upside, should have sold into the 1790s. I thought we were gonna get 18s. I sold all over here. I tried to re-long it again for thinking that we're gonna keep on trending up higher, but we're kind of reversing now. So I stopped out, gave back some profit on the long side. Overall, FCEL, I did better. Overall in terms of performance this week. On the short side, adapted to the market condition, turned out to be a scalp and flip long. But I did not do so well on plug. But plug, overall, it's a net loss. I was more short biased on plug, but same thing. If you look at the same thing as the FCEL chart, the dip around the low 60s got bought back up today, and we're heading higher, 65 and higher. So I'm glad I cut my losses on the short side. It's a very difficult market to short. That's why I kind of have to adapt and look for long entries. In terms of the small caps, after what happened with OBLN yesterday, BBIG did gap up today on similar news like rumors, speculation. It was already traded very high volume pre-market. It's all about the planning. But I didn't execute this one well because I just kind of had a couple of other stocks on watch, and I was trying to avoid trading small caps altogether today. So FCEL and plug were my main watches. BBIG, by the time I looked at this, it kind of broke above the key level I was watching, 540s. You can see they trapped pretty decently pre-market, reclaimed highs, broke out above VWAP and made a lot of higher lows, consolidated and squeezed up to the highs. The long should have been down here around the consolidation. I did have a chase size. When I do chase and I know it's a breakout chase, it's a lot smaller size than what I would normally use. So chase size, and if I do these breakout moves, low flow breakout, I immediately sell into it. So sold into it, very nice. Even though I didn't top tickets, I thought $9 was just decent. This is a decent breakout from $8.20 to $9. I did try to think that we're gonna consolidate and move up higher, like OBLN potentially, because this was a major short trap. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. So the longs, I went back in and I stopped out for a short, and this thing just rug pulled after I stopped out. So it was a good stop on the long side. So the stock that I'm more bearish on is Gene. I shorted around the $8 pre-market levels, $8, $8.10s. You can see we gapped out all the way to $9 and retraced back down. So I shorted here, added into the weakness around 730s and got some very nice flush move to the downside. I did go back and re-add, had to stop out. Because it did look like it was gonna trap and squeeze up higher, but you can see they rejected this level 740 750s level pretty decently. Once I kept on rejecting, I added back short and covered into the flushes, and it did some sort of offering midday, pretty nasty, $6 offering pricing around 520. So I re-added back very, very, very small, and I'm all out around the 530s. So this is a lot cleaner. I mean, it's a downtrending stock, and also it has a history of selling off the spikes. So that's the reason I stayed in this one short, as opposed to BBIG. That one I was more bullish on the front side, and there could potentially be short on the back side. But I just kind of got burned shorting OBLN from yesterday with similar news. So that's why I avoided that one altogether. So I am ending the day green today, which is fine, but I'm gonna end the week negative probably. It's been a very tiring and difficult week. for me and a lot of traders I talk to. And even though it's a shortened week, I feel like, man, this week has been an extremely long one. It's important to adapt. It's important to notice that, shorts is not working in this market. And even if I do short, it'll have to be like scalps. And we'll see how it goes. All we can do is to manage our risk and stopping out when needed. I hope everyone's doing well. If you are able to take advantage of these crazy breakouts that's going straight up, that's amazing. But also knowing that a lot of times the breakouts in a normal market condition, it's not going to work. It's probably gonna keep on working this week and maybe next week. But if it starts changing, you gotta adapt and start longing the pullbacks and not buying the breakouts. So it's been a tiring week. I hope everyone's staying safe. Yeah, you can probably see that my face is just breaking out everywhere, just like the market. It's been very stressful. If you're struggling this week, seeing that your normal setups, both on the long side and short side, are not working, know that you're not alone. A lot of experienced traders are struggling this week. It's been difficult, but all we can do is fall back on our risk management, right? As long as you manage your risk, even though you might end the day red, it's still a manageable loss that you can come back from next week or the week after. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope you guys are doing better than I am. And thanks for watching as always. I'll see you guys next week. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.